The Barren Queen. In the resplendent royal household of Raja Fateh Chand Mani and Rani Mani, where every corner exuded opulence, an invisible sorrow cast a shadow over their lives. Marble halls shimmered under the glow of golden chandeliers, and the fragrance of blooming gardens wafted through the air, yet the king and queen felt incomplete. Despite their wealth, power, and influence, a single, aching void gnawed at their souls. Their yearning for a child, a beacon to carry forward their lineage and illuminate the future of their kingdom. Rani Mani, adorned with jewels that reflected her status, bore this sorrow with grace, but her silent pain was unmistakable. Her gaze often drifted to the streets below, where children's laughter filled the air, a poignant reminder of the joy that eluded her. The palace walls whispered tales of the queen's barrenness, a delicate subject that courtiers and attendants dared not speak of openly, yet it lingered in every glance and hushed conversation. Amid this melancholy, one of the queen's consorts approached her with a suggestion that sparkled with hope. "Oh, noble queen," she said, bowing deeply, her tone imbued with respect and reverence, "there exists a sage of great renown, Pandit Shiv Dutt, who resides on the sacred banks of the holy river Ganges. It is said his prayers ascend directly to the heavens, and the gods themselves answer his pleas. Perhaps his blessings might bring you the miracle you seek." The queen's eyes lit up with a flicker of hope. Turning to the king, she implored, "We must go to him." The king, moved by his wife's earnest plea, agreed without hesitation. The royal couple, accompanied by a modest retinue, embarked on their journey to meet Pandit Shiv Dutt. The road to the sacred river was short, but each step felt weighted with anticipation. When they arrived at the Ganges, they found the sage seated beneath a towering banyan tree, his serene countenance radiating wisdom. The king and queen approached him with humility, bowing low as they recounted their plight. Pandit Shiv Dutt listened attentively, his expression softening with compassion. When they had finished, he closed his eyes as if communing with the divine. "In the streets of Patna," he said, his voice carrying an almost ethereal resonance, "the gods have graced this land with the presence of a divine child. He is none other than Gobind Rai, a luminous soul accompanied by his spirited companions. His light touches all who encounter him." The royal couple exchanged bewildered glances, unable to grasp the full meaning of his words. Sensing their confusion, the sage elaborated. "Gobind Rai is no ordinary boy. He is a vessel of divine wisdom and grace. If you wish to seek his blessings, you must approach with humility and sincerity, a test of devotion." The queen, eager yet apprehensive, asked how they might approach this extraordinary child. "What must we do?" she inquired earnestly. Pandit Shiv Dutt smiled knowingly. "You need not seek him out," he replied. "Return to your palace and prepare a feast, not for him directly, but for his companions. But heed my words, the meal must be prepared by your own hands with love and devotion. If your intentions are pure, the divine child will come to you." Inspired by his guidance, the royal couple returned to their palace. Rani Mani, despite her royal stature, entered the kitchen herself. Her delicate hands, unaccustomed to such labour, worked tirelessly to prepare a simple yet heartfelt feast. As she toiled, her prayers became a mantra, her tears mingling with the ingredients as an offering of pure devotion. When the feast was ready, it was laid out in the grand hall. The queen and king sat in silent prayer, their hearts brimming with hope and anticipation. As the final notes of the queen's whispered prayers faded, a distant knocking echoed through the palace, reverberating like the call of destiny. The royal guards rushed to open the gates, their faces alight with wonder. Through the grand entrance walked Gobind Rai, his presence illuminating the hall like the first light of dawn. He was accompanied by his loyal Sena, his band of young companions, who gazed in awe at the splendour of the palace they had only dreamt of entering. Inside the hall, Rani Mani remained seated, her eyes still closed in prayer. Suddenly, a child's voice rang out, clear and melodious. Gobind Rai darted across the hall and leapt into the queen's lap, wrapping his small arms around her in a warm embrace. Overwhelmed, Rani Mani held him close, tears streaming down her face. In that moment, all her sorrow melted away. Though this child was not born of her womb, the bond she felt with him was profound, transcending bloodlines. A feast of love, Hand in hand, Rani Maini led Gobind Rai to the feast she had lovingly prepared. His companions followed eagerly, their faces lighting up as they took their places at the grand table. As the children feasted, laughter and joy filled the hall, echoing off its gilded walls. The Queen watched with a full heart, her earlier sadness replaced by a profound sense of fulfillment. After the meal, Gobind Rai turned to the Queen, his eyes shining with wisdom beyond his years. "Mata," he said softly, "today my Sena dines in a place they were once barred from entering. Their joy is my joy, and your love has made it possible. Tell me, what does your heart desire most? Ask, and my heavenly Father will grant it." A wish-fulfilled Rani Maini, emboldened by his words, clasped her hands and spoke with unwavering conviction. "O divine child, grant me a son, a child who embodies your nobility and wisdom." Gobind Rai smiled, his gaze tender. "If it is a son like me you seek, then consider me your own. From this moment, I am your son, and this bond shall endure for eternity." With those words, a sense of bliss enveloped the Queen. She felt a peace that surpassed all understanding, for the divine child had filled the void in her heart in a way she could never have imagined. In the months that followed, Gobind Rai became a frequent visitor to the palace, not as a guest, but as a beloved son. He brought wisdom and guidance to the royal household, sharing lessons on governance, justice, and spirituality. Under his influence, the kingdom flourished, its people inspired by his virtuous teachings. The story of the Barren Queen and the divine child became a cherished legend passed down through generations. It was a testament to the transformative power of faith, humility, and love, a reminder that the bonds of the heart can transcend all boundaries. And so, the tale of Rani Maini and Gobind Rai was etched into the annals of history, a luminous chapter in the tapestry of destiny. It resonated through the ages, inspiring countless souls with its message of devotion, hope, and the eternal connection between the human and the divine.